In today's recording, we're going to do an overview of the Sage AR Automation self-service portal. When you first get to the portal, this is the page that you're going to see, which is going to just show all of your open invoices. You're going to see how many open invoices you have, the total account balance, the total past due, and how many past due invoices are on the account. When you scroll down here, this is where you're going to see your invoices, and there's a few different things that you can do. The first thing that we're going to go over is how to submit a payment from the portal. In order to submit a payment, you're either going to select this checkbox here to select all of the invoices, or you can select the invoices one by selecting them. Next, you're going to hit the pay button here. And this is going to bring up the screen to make a payment. From here, we can select the payment method. It looks like there's already a payment method saved. So if we select that, it will then allow us to actually make a payment by selecting pay. If we didn't have a payment method on file, we would select add a new payment method. From here, you're prompted to enter in either an EFT or, depending on how your account is set up, a credit card. If you scroll down, you can see what is necessary to submit an EFT payment. So we can see some payment information here and then account type. The last option here is to select default payment. If you want this to be the payment that the system defaults to each time when you make a payment, simply toggle this on and hit add payment method. This is what it looks like for adding a credit card. Same thing goes, you can make a credit card a default and hit submit. Once you have your payment method added, you can then select pay. If you have discounts on your account, you will see the total discount amount populated down here. In order to manage your payment methods, you'll come into here, and from here you can set a payment method as default, edit a payment method, or delete a payment method. So right from here, I could edit the payment method and make any necessary changes I needed. The next feature we're going to take a look at is sending your collections team a message through the Sage AR Automation self-service portal. In order to send a message, you will again select an invoice or invoices and then send message. Here you will put your name in, and you can type a message to the collections team in regard to the particular invoices that you selected and hit send. This will send an instant message to the collections team, who can then reply to you. When they reply to you, you'll see it in the messages tab up here. The next feature we're going to explore is the dispute feature. In order to submit a dispute, again, you need to select invoices, then select dispute. There will be reason codes up here as to why you're disputing the reason. Once you have that selection, there's an option to type in a message about why you're disputing and hit submit. That'll then submit a dispute to your collections team. The next option is going to be promise to pay. This can also be called expected payment. So if you expect to make a payment by a certain date, you will use this feature. A calendar will drop down where you can put in the particular date that you expect to make the payment by. You can type in a message about why the collection should be expecting a payment by that particular date and hit submit. The next very handy feature is going to be the ability to download your invoices. So if you want to either select again invoices one by one or select all your invoices, you can then download the invoice copies by selecting download attachments. Last but not least, you can export your invoices. Let's say you like to export these to an Excel spreadsheet. You can use the export feature here. All of the features that I went over up at the top here are also available by selecting an invoice and using the actions drop down. Here we'll be able to see the ability to make a payment, send a message, dispute an invoice, create a promise to pay. This one's going to be download invoices, and finally export invoices. A handy feature to keep in mind is that if you ever want a copy of your invoice, you can select it here and download a copy of your invoice. Some of the other tabs that we have up here is the ability to see closed invoices, the ability to see payments that have been made. You're able to see the transaction ID, when the payment was made. You'll also be able to see the invoices that it was applied to. As I said, this is where you're going to see messages from your collections team, any contacts, and then any documents associated with your account. Last but not least, we're going to review the automatic payment feature. The left right here of the page, we see automatic payments are off. In order to enable automatic payments, we're going to want to select this and select Manage Automatic Payments. Simply toggle this button on. Select what payment method you want to be added to process an automatic payment. Right now, we have a payment method already selected. If we wanted to add a new payment method, we could come in here and add a new payment method. Just like I showed you in the previous screen, you have the ability here to add your payment method, whether it's EFT or credit card. After you've added that information, you can select if you'd like that to be the default payment method and hit Add Payment Method. So once you have a payment method that is selected, the next step is going to be choosing how you want those to be processed. The first option is to pay all open invoices on their given due dates. The second option would be to pay the total open balances on a particular day of the month. You can select it by entering the day of the month in here. The last option is to pay the past due balance on a particular day of the month. And once again, just enter in the day of the month here. Finally, we do ask how you want to be notified when an automatic payment has been processed. The options are a portal message, so you would need to log into your portal to see that the payment has been processed, and you would get a message under the Messages tab. The second option is an email. We will send you an email with a payment confirmation that the payment has processed to the default address on file. There's also the option to select both. After you have selected how you'd like to be notified, you'll hit Save.